Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Chief Commercial Officer of Moctezuma, Senor Ignacio Dominguez.
Thank you. Good afternoon now to all of you. It's a pleasure for me to be here today. You know, it was said before, first of all, because it gave me a nice opportunity to visit my home country. Second, because I think that it's nice to share with you our experience from a business that is agriculture and food that for many years was regarded as in the outskirts of the business and now is kind of sexy, you know, being in agriculture. And food is fantastic. Second, the third thing is because we are, you know, latecomers to this JDA world and it makes our life simple, really much simpler. And this is our motto as a company. So I brought this video with me because another challenge is to explain the name of my company, Moctezuma. Now you heard it at least 7 or 8 times, so it won't sound so weird to you. But let me enlarge a little bit who we are, okay? And we are a nonsense company. You know, we are really the guys around the corner. You know, we're somebody that we live this business of agriculture and food with passion. You know, it's like those football players that when they score a goal, they start kissing their T-shirt. That's who we are. You know, that's a passion. We have fun. We're a very funny company. Funny, haha, funny, peculiar. Okay, so we're very, very funny. Working with us is fantastic, and we are, you know, Mediterranean, and sometimes that is chaotic, and we're good in the chaos. But at the end, our entire thing is to create simplicity for our farmers, for our users, for our dealers, but also for us. And that's where JDA plays a real job on making our life easier. You saw some facts about the activity where we are. And today we are the 7th largest group in the crop protection business. And you can see here that our competitors are very well-known corporations. You can see there Syngenta, you can see BASF, DuPont, of course Monsanto. Everybody knows in my business Monsanto. I don't know why. But you know, you see we're over there, and we're the leading off-patent player in our business. Our turnover today is $2.7 billion, and we've been growing in this business over the last 20 years at a speed that was unprecedented with any other competitor. And we do have a regional, presence in all over the world. We are global. We have more than 50 subsidiaries, sales in more than 120 countries. We have synthesis factories. We have formulation factories. We have presence in Europe, in the Americas, etc. And our products are covering all those problems that you saw in the video. You know, all the problems that the farmers they're facing in order to produce. And this global presence includes sales offices, includes manufacturing places, includes formulation plants, and all these adds complexity, and it's very important to have systems that allow us to manage that in a sensible, efficient, profitable way, okay? We have also a very large portfolio. You know, we have 120 actives. Just for you to understand, an active is like in the pharmaceutical business, ibuprofen, okay? But from that active, we might have 10 different formulated products. So when you go here and you see 120 actives, that is translated in over 3,000 different finished products, which is a very complex also portfolio range. This is who we are, or the area where we are dealing is in the agriculture. And you saw some of the challenges. Let me walk you through some of those challenges today. There is an unprecedented demand for growth and in the consumption. And Well, you saw it today. Everybody's talking about availability of food and changes in the diet and etc. You know that for every Chinese that moves to eat meat, the production of grain has to be multiplied by 50. So that is a big challenge. If you take into consideration that about 100 million Chinese are changing their food habits every year, you can imagine that there is an incredible pressure on the food today. And that triggers many, many things. Triggers like massive price swings, triggers this debate about whether we should produce ourselves or we should purchase. It's very interesting. I was having a conversation before. I'm a bit of a storyteller, so you will have to bear with my stories in this presentation. So I was having a conversation before, and I was saying the EU, it was shaped for agriculture. That's the origin of the EU. Now they're telling, the Nobel Prize for peace and things like that, but that was not the origin. In fact, some of you, not the young guys, but some of you remember that maybe 20 years ago, Europe was all the time producing excedents of food. Today, Europe is importing the amount of food equivalent to what it is grown in 35 million hectares. Spain is 26 million hectares. 35 million hectares is the entire production of Germany. And Europe is importing that food into our balance of trade. So, you see, the effect of what I'm explaining to you is shown in this graphic. The dark blue block means the population that is eating today below $2 per day. The light one is those countries where you see that they are growing, that they are feeding themselves but more than $2 per day. We see that the change in the diet in all those places, like in China, in India, in Africa, will put an incredible pressure on the production of food. Production of food that certainly can be covered in some areas. You see here what is the production. Imagine that you have, a hectare. And this is the maximum production that you can have from a hectare. And by the way, just for you to know, a hectare is about twice the Nou Camp, okay? So 2 football pitches. Okay, that's a hectare. But if you have this hectare, today you're extracting only 70% of the value of the food availability of that hectare. There are factors that would make almost impossible to get the 100%, but you see, for example, in North America, the extract of food in a hectare is about 65%, which is similar to Europe, which is similar to China. But you can see that in some places, like in Russia or in Africa, there's still an opportunity to grow there. But that will not be the solution to the future challenge. You saw in the video, we have to produce something, we have to increase our production over the next 40 years in order to feed the statistical prediction of population. We have to increase by 50% our production, while the land available will be only 7%. And how we're going to do that? If you look, you think, okay, maybe we will be able to produce more per hectare. This is the historical trend that you see, for example, of a hectare of wheat and how much is growing the yield year versus year. And today we are growing 1% versus the year before. So don't expect miracles. There is a big issue with food. There's a big issue. It's going to be an interesting thing. And on top of that, some of the acres are going to full. So the food, it's going to be one of the major battlegrounds for the future. And we're there. That's why it's sexy. Also, everybody says that the weather, we started this conference this morning talking about the weather, okay? But the weather has an effect on all the business, certainly on agriculture. If you see these are based on data from our business. In the Northern Hemisphere, 45% of the business happens in just a quarter, in springtime. In the Southern Hemisphere, in a bit more, about 44 months, 50% of the business happens there. And like in every place, our customers, they don't wait. They are demanding the product and they want it to have it in 2 days. Otherwise, they will go to some other place. So the challenges are like in any other business. And it's a very long supply chain. This is based on us, but I could say that all our competitors, they have something similar. You have a very long supply, production lead times, and then you have every country that they say, no, but you do not understand, we're different. And then you'll find these specificities that are coming from registrations, from local consumers, from diet, from habits, et cetera, et cetera. So this is the battlefield where we're playing, okay? So in this field, how do we manage the complexity of the supply chain? Let me tell you another story. About a month ago, I was in a conversation that happened between the head of Europe, the corporate development and supply, and we were talking about this solution, or JDA solution. And corporate resources were saying, we invest a lot of things on this platform in order to improve our inventory position. And the head of Europe said, I would have never supported that just for the inventory position. I think that this solution was good because it helped me to improve my sales forecasting systems. And the guy from supply chain said, yeah, come on, guys. Really, this is about putting all the supply chain links talking together and having a real common language. And you know what? They were all true. That was the beauty of what I want to share with you. Everyone from different angles can find very nice solutions. Because the reality is what it is. We cannot change it. We told you, 45% happens in a quarter. If you miss it, it waits for you an entire year. Well, something like these guys from the North Pole, so. From a company. Also, we need to really find a common battleground for all the different systems in the company. And at the end, it is about managing your demand from the end user. And our end user is the farmer. So we need to, and this farmer, the day that is raining, the next day we know that we'll have problems with fungus. So we'll have to be ready to anticipate those things. So the demand will come from, that will shape our supply. What happens when you have 3,000 inventory items? You have, I don't know, 120-something customers, countries, different languages. You can imagine that your inventory can rocket high. And it's a must. That's why some people in the company was looking at this platform in order to reduce inventories, because it's a must. Otherwise, you can be very, very profitable, and your working capital will kill you. And this was the right time to put all the areas together, agreed on a policy for the company, and have a clear understanding and consensus among the different areas. And a unique planning platform, because the commercial operation in one hand, the supply chain on the other, the manufacturing plans are in a different plano. Each one of them, they have languages, and depending on the company, we are a company that we were built 60 years ago, and you can imagine that at that time, the thing that we did was we manufacture, somebody will sell. Today, it's totally the opposite. We find what we can sell, and then we will manufacture. So it was an opportunity to have a unique planning platform. So, when I was preparing this presentation with some of my peers, I said, but I am the commercial officer, the chief commercial officer of this corporation. I cannot come here to talk about how good this platform, unless I'm coming with real numbers. That's what I understand. I'm not very good at any other thing but numbers. So I told them, what are the benefits that we are experiencing today from this platform? The first thing, and it's very difficult. I was amazed with Amy's presentation that she was able to measure things like time efficiency and things like that. For us, I don't know how to translate that into numbers. But the fact that I have an organization that today doesn't spend time in routine processes and only thinks about important things is very, very critical. So when we are doing all our forecasts, and 90% of the forecast is given by a platform, and they only have to think, no, but this year is a bit colder, or this year this oilseed rape is being drilled later. Those are the things that I want my people to be focused, not to spend a lot of time, especially if they are in sales, not a lot of time spending on this thing. And this is what is very good about the platform. Second thing is that I don't want to understand the supply chain language. I have enough with the Spanish, English, a little bit of Israeli, French, and German, and so it's okay. I don't want to understand the supply chain language. So I want them all to tell me when the things are available for my sale. And the platform allows that supply, warehouses, factories, they're all aligned. But numbers, first about the forecast. I like to quote always Groucho Marx when he talked about the forecast. He said, forecasting is very difficult, especially if it is about the future. Well, I agree with that, So if I would be able to foresee the future, I would be playing the New York Lotto. And instead of that, I'm here sharing this time with you. But we're measuring how much we're improving our forecast, our sales forecast in the countries. I've picked here different examples from different territories. So these numbers, for example, they correspond to France. And we've been able to improve our sales forecast something between 11 to 18%, depending on the quarter that we're talking. But also, we've been able to reduce the gaps, first of all, to reduce the inventory, the safety stock, and to reduce the gaps between these safety stock, real and theoretical. So you have here, for example, the numbers from Germany and the numbers from Italy. Okay, so our subsidiary in Germany has a tremendous decrease. Our subsidiary in Italy is getting closer to the target. This is real money. This is real money when you look into financing these things. Or, for example, our subsidiary in Holland. You know, you have all got all these Dutch people backstage, you know, and this is the Dutch and the cost. Have you ever heard that? Okay. You know, so the French and l'amour and the Dutch and the cost. There is no romantic there. These are the data that is coming from Holland, the first one. The next one is coming, I think it is from Germany. I think it's France. Okay, I'm hearing it somewhere there. Okay, but these are real data. So we are reducing today our inventories. We're improving our sales forecast. We're managing our safety stock. All these things, from a commercial perspective, I can translate them into real dollars. So we're latecomers. I told you, we cannot compete with Sears or with Lenovo that you will hear tomorrow. You know, you cannot even pronounce the name of our company, but we're a latecomer. We're extremely satisfied what we had in our hands. We've gone live. We've been talking with you guys, I don't know, for 6, 7 years, but real life, we started in the year 2010. Today is fully implemented in Europe. We're starting also in the US right now, and there is a complete plan to expand this thing into the entire organization in Asia and in the rest of the Americas during the next 2 years. It's creating simplicity also in agriculture. Thank you.